She opens the door and I'm like, bruh. And the only thing he said to us was, look in the camera. Ugh, I don't like this scamming, man. Hey guys, it's Kavetta. Welcome back to my channel. Today I will talk about how we got from Italy to Istanbul, Turkey. Okay, so the flight I chose was Turkish airline. There was another airline that was more inexpensive, but I went with Turkish because they give 2 free bags and I just couldn't be bothered with trying to figure out the size and if I need what size for a carry-on, and I would have to pay an extra because I think that you get only a personal luggage. So instead of doing all that, I just paid the extra and went with Turkish, and I'm so happy we did. It was a huge plane. It was clean. Everybody was so friendly and nice. The flight attendants, everyone was awesome. We did get a meal. We were in economy. You do get a meal. I believe it was maybe 5 hours or so. I don't remember how long the flight was from Italy to Istanbul, but we did get a meal. And the plane was pretty much half empty because we were sat in the middle. So there were 4 seats in the middle. Then we had the 3 of us, and then there was no one in the 4th seat. Then the seat next to us by the window, those 2 seats were empty, and then a couple seats all over were empty. So we could have gotten up and sit, where we wanted to sit. We were fine there, so we just chilled. But yeah, so I do recommend Turkish airline. I'm short, so the leg room wasn't a problem for me, and it's never been a problem, but I had enough space. It was nice to stretch my leg a little bit. We did have TV to watch, and they did come around with pillows and blankets and the headphones and everything. So Turkish airline was awesome. Okay, so you do need a visa to get into Turkey, even on your US passport. Of course, if you're coming from somewhere else, check with your embassy. With the US visa, you get 6 months. I'm sorry, not 6 months. Woo, 3 months in the country. So the visa is valid for, I believe, 6 months. But so you have during that time to enter, but you can only stay for 3 months. So I did the visa online, and make sure you're going to the correct site because there's a lot of just like anywhere else, there's a lot of places that will post that they have the visa process, or they can do it for you, or you go on their Turkey visa and you think you're going through the government side, but you're not. And it's going to cost you extra. It's going to take more time and all that because you're going through an agency. So make sure you go to, I always go to the US Embassy site, since they have links and information for every other embassy. So once you click from the US Embassy site, it's the real site, the correct site. And it was $50 online for each of us. I did it, filled it out, got the link, clicked it, paid, and I got the visa immediately. So it was quick, simple, easy. There was nothing to it but putting in your information, and then that was it. That's the visa process. So definitely get your visa. You can do it once you land, but then you'd have to spend more time being out of, immigration line to leave. You'd have to go to a different section to get the visa, then go back into line at immigration to go through. You also need a HES code to enter, and that is on their site. Also, you have to fill in your information. So it's pretty much, I guess, so they can track you, and you scan once you go into pretty much everything. You need that HES code to enter everything because it shows, your status or your card, whatever you put in there. And it is for over 18 because I only show mine. They've never asked for the kids. It's just one scan and that's it. To go into the mall, to go into the museums, to go into the palace. I had to show my HES code. So even Starbucks down in Taskim Square, I had to show my HES code. So once you fill out the information, fill out the form with your information, it gives you a barcode, and you screenshot that barcode. So screenshot that barcode, save it in your pictures. I save it in my favorites, so it's right there and easy to access. So since I'm vaccinated, I just show my vaccine card everywhere I go. Under 12 do not need to get the COVID test once you're entering Turkey. So Jarrell is 10, so he didn't need a test. But Kalel, he's 15, so he needed a test. We did the test at the airport right before a flight in Italy. who we cut it close. We weren't gonna miss our flight, but we were close enough. So always give yourself enough time, especially if you're doing it at the airports. Pretty much all airports now will have testing for COVID so you can fly. And when we were checking in, the guy was like, oh yeah, they changed it. Customer service, when we were checking in, they changed that under 12, they have to do the test. You have to go back and get a test. And we were like, no, an hour or so from our flight. And I'm like, no. I pulled up the site and everything. And I was just like, I'm not paying another $20-something. I know nothing changed, you know? So he's like, okay. He called somebody else and they were saying the same thing. And then they finally gave me the boarding pass and be like, so I guess they were like, you know, do whatever you want. When you get to Turkey, you'll see. We got to Turkey and nobody asked me for anything. They didn't ask me for my card. They didn't ask for Khalil's COVID test. They didn't ask us for anything whatsoever. So I'm like, okay. The immigration line, it was pretty long, but it was moving super fast. I don't know what they were checking because they didn't ask for my visa. They didn't ask for COVID vaccine, COVID test, nothing. I think he spoke to, the only thing he said to us, like he took our passports and the only thing he said to us was look in the camera, or he pointed to the camera and told, you know, like trying to tell us to look in the camera so they could take our picture and do, you know, the immigration processing or whatever. Literally all the guy said to us, took our passport, we took each picture. He said, yeah, he called our name. He's like Kavetta Johnson. Then he's like Khalil and then Jarrell. So we each went in front of the camera, took our pictures, and that was it. No questions, no nothing. And we were in Istanbul. Like, what? So it was pretty easy. I love easy immigration. We haven't had any issues at immigration traveling anywhere so far. So knock on wood. Where's wood? Getting from the airport is pretty easy. Once you get out, taxis are literally right there. So you just join the line if there's a line and you wait your turn. The taxis just pull up, you get in, you tell them where you're going, you get in one. It costs about $30 to get the taxi from the airport to Istanbul center, and it's about an hour or so away. So $30 for taxi. Yeah. There is a bus, bus that you can take. I didn't even look into that because I just was not gonna sit for hours after I just flew for hours. So the taxi was the easiest option. You have to be careful with taxis. Like, it is inexpensive for us, you know, changing US to Turkish lira, but the taxis are out here scamming, man. They are scamming. When I came out of the taxi, it said, I don't remember how much it said, but it was $20-something. So I think it said like 197 or 95 or something like that Turkish lira, and he goes 200, and I'm like, and I was just tired. I've heard about it and it was just a couple cents, so I'm like, whatever. But I know the more we keep giving into that, the more they're gonna keep doing it because they know they can get it from us tourists, right? But I chose the battle. I just could not. So I just paid it. So, and it's not the first time. That the second time I took a taxi, they did the same thing. It says one thing on the screen and they like round it up a couple liras. But if it was like a big amount, I'll be like, nah, we're not doing that. But it was like 30-40 cents. So it's nothing to us, but it's still the principle. You know what I mean? So that's why one of the reasons why I really haven't taken a taxi again, because I just, I don't like this scamming, man. So yeah, the taxi was about 30, so like 20 something dollars. It wasn't, it was super inexpensive. So I'm saying 30, but I think it was 20 something dollars. I'd have to look back at Chase, but it was inexpensive to get the taxi and super easy. You just go outside and that's it. And then the first, what I did was book a hotel for 3 nights that we came, because I knew we would be here for at least a month. Since we have 3 months in the country, I was thinking, you know, book Airbnb for 1 month, see how we like it, see if we want to stay another month, and then move to 1 or 2 more other cities before leaving Turkey completely, because now we're trying to slow down. We rushed through Europe, so we're tired, okay? So we wanted to just slow travel for a bit, and wherever we go from here, for the most part, it will be slow traveling. So it won't be like we were doing just now. It will be, if they give us, you know, 3 months stay, we're going to stay the 3 months. If we get 6 months in the country, we're going to stay the 6 months. So I got a hotel, and I'll do a hotel review, of course, on that place. Did it for the three nights, and then during that time I was looking for Airbnb. I told you I do everything last minute. Even booking a 1 month Airbnb, I do it last minute because I'm not about to lose all my money. Okay, it is non-refundable. Pretty much everybody is non-refundable, so it's not like, oh yeah, just book a refundable one. You can hardly ever find anything refundable. So I booked an Airbnb. I think it was day 2. I was just looking for stuff. Things, you know, it's crazy expensive right now because of just everything that's going on. So everywhere that expats normally, you know, run to or whatever, it's more expensive now. We're in like high season, I guess. Plus, when you're staying less than 6 months normally in a place, you're gonna get the higher rate. So I went there, I booked the Airbnb, I talked to her, and she seemed fine. The Airbnb looked awesome on picture. So she said, okay, you can come today and pick up the key, and then you can move in tomorrow. So I'm like, yes, because I pretty much wanted to see the place before, so I was gonna ask that. So we get there, and the area was lively. There's restaurants everywhere, and that's the good part about it. For the most part, everywhere you go, there's restaurants, there's stores, and then the apartments and the buildings, so you're always like in the middle of stuff. And it was close to Taskim Square, which is one of those places that I must go, one of the areas. We show up there and we're walking and we're like, okay, something not right here. I'm like, it's fine, let's go up, let's see what it is. She opens the door and I'm like, bruh, I know this woman did not put those pictures on Airbnb, let people rent it, let me show up, and this is what she's giving me. Khalil is laughing because we're remembering this thing. Khalil walked out. He's like, bruh, I'm not staying here. He said, I am not staying in this Airbnb. Jarrell was like, oh, I kind of like it. It's kind of like an old world charm. He was trying to be all positive. And I'm looking around. The more I walk, the more pissed off I got. I'm like, this is not what was in the picture. Are you kidding me right now? It was, I took some pictures. I didn't take enough. But what I took was enough because I left. Like, I came out of that place so fast. We're like, yeah, we're not going to stay here. We have to leave the hotel tomorrow. I will book a couple more nights if I need to. We'll find another Airbnb, but I'm not staying there. So we leave and I text her and I'm like, this is not it. I can't stay here with my kids because this is not a representation of what was on the Airbnb site. And she's like, oh, I can't force you to stay. I'm sorry. Can you do 3? If I cancel the rest of the nights, will you pay for 3 nights? I'm like, I'm not even staying there. I'm not even going to stay there. But she wanted, whatever, however it works. So I'm like, I was so mad. I'm like, just cancel all the nights, take the 3 nights. It came to, I think it was $100 and something after fees, close to $200. And I'm like, just take it and cancel. I am not staying there. Okay. And then I'm like, so when we left and everything, went back to the hotel, it was bugging me. I was so mad. I was big mad. Okay. So I was still going. So I emailed Airbnb and I'm like, this is not it. This is not what they said. The person said it was. And they were ready to take her side. And they're like, well, it's non-refundable, blah, blah. I'm like, look at the pictures that she has on the listing. And then I send them my pictures that I took. And like I said, I didn't take enough pictures and I probably insert it already because so it's up there. And I'm like, these are my pictures that I took. This is what the place looks like. And then there was no question after that. The only other email I got was, we went ahead and refunded you. You should see it in your bank account within 10 to whatever business days. Because they knew the listing looked nothing like the pictures that I sent. So there wasn't even an argument. So if Airbnb actually gave me back my money that quick, it was in the same day, within a couple hours. I wasn't waiting weeks and months. It was the same day in a couple hours between me contacting them, sending them my pictures, and them refunding me my money and canceling the reservation. I'm like, I'm not staying here with my kids. So yeah, after all that, I went back. I was actually talking to another host But he had said when I looked at it, it was gone. I'm like, oh my gosh, it says it's gone. And he's like, yeah, somebody else booked it. So then when I texted, no, he emailed me back and he's like, hi dear. That's how he talks to me, hi dear. Even now, he's like, hi dear. The person that was going to take the place, they backed out because it was on the 4th floor. There's no elevator. I know, don't even start, but whatever. But it was really, really pretty. So I'm like, okay, can I come today to look at it? And that was on our way home from that other place. So I whipped out Google Maps and started looking, and I see that it's, you know, a little bit further from where that is. So I'm like, okay, I'm coming right now. And he's like, I'm here whenever you want to get here. So we came and it was absolutely beautiful. Get to chatting. He's also a traveler, so he says he made the space how he wants to live when he goes to other countries. So it has everything. It has a dishwasher, washing machine, TV set up with Xbox and music, not Xbox, but the Xbox port and stuff. He has speakers, new appliances, like the entire place is pretty new. Like everything is new. He has like a ton of plates, You'll see I'll do the walkthrough and show you everything. But when we came in, like as soon as we stepped in, we're like, yes, we'll take it. So then right there with him, I booked the Airbnb, and he saw I booked it. He gave me the keys and he said, when you come tomorrow, that's it. And I'm like, look at that. And it was the same price. Like that girl was giving me that busted up apartment for the same price as this completely renovated place. And of course, in the review, I'll tell you all about this guy. He's been amazing. Meeting these people, like I said before in my last video, with Valerie from Italy. Yeah. So, I know I went on that. I had to share that with you. If you're following me on Instagram, I wrote a whole post on my blog about it because I was fired up that day, okay? All right, so I think that was all. I'm looking at my computer here at my notes. I think that was all for getting to Istanbul and whatever. So again, when I went to Mexico, I told you guys that also. I stayed in a hotel for a couple of nights, and then I went and looked at apartments. In Mexico, I didn't go through Airbnb because it's easier to just get realtors in Mexico. Here, I just wanted to go through Airbnb just to be safe. Thank God I did with that one. So yeah, always just book a couple nights at the hotel and then go and look at the place before you commit to a month or 2 months. Okay? Alrighty. So that is it for now. Lots more to come from Istanbul. Lots more to come about how I'm saving $60 on my phone bill a month. Like so much. So stay tuned. Like this video if you want to see more, so I know that you're out there watching and wanting and waiting for all the information that I have to provide. Hit the notification bell so you stay up to date on adventures, and subscribe. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.